All right. Testing. Yo, I
Okay.
had to do that. What's good? What's good?
What's the deal? You already know, man. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm over here. I got the YouTube
Oh,
shit up in the back.
oh, yeah, we can hear you. I'm about to say. We can hear the background.
All right, bet we are back. Welcome back. First official episode of the NFL betting show with me and the very important betting NFL betting show with me and my guy Fast Money Prop.
Second,
Uh,
second,
no,
second.
no, this is the first betting show. The other one's just the very important NFL show. This is our
Oh,
second. This is our second show together, but this is our first NFL betting show of the 2025 season.
facts.
So we had to get things right, bring the heat for the people, all that good shit. I'm excited, man. First week went by. Obviously, some interesting undertakings in the first week.
Yeah.
Uh, you got to see your boy shine. In Justin Fields didn't get the W, which is the most important thing. But we there he delivered hope though, right? Hope is not lost. You guys are if you're a Jets fan, you saw a lot of stuff that was positive and really made you look forward to things as opposed to all the negative bullshit you had to hear all off season, right?
Facts. I think like you said, he delivered hope. Something that we haven't seen from a Jets QB as far as mobility. Um, and going vertical, I would say. We've always known the Jets to run the ball and play great defense. The defense was bad in week one. They got some timely stops. Of course, the fumble killed them on the kickoff return with special teams, but um, definitely thought the defense would be a little bit better. But it is week one. I thought that Fields did his part. I saw a lot of different takes coming from national broadcast and Jets fans just across the internet on
For
like,
sure.
oh, maybe we can do something with this guy, which is what I've always believed. It's just week one, but I think it gave him some hope against this Buffalo defense, who's terrible at stopping the run. The spread went from I think about 8 points to some books have it at 6 now, 6.5. So yeah,
All right. We're getting into the slate too fast. What's it called? Last night we got to see the Washington Commanders just look like dog shit from start to finish. I think it's safe to say the Green Bay Packers are legit. I mean, it's obviously only been 2 weeks, but that defense looks fast, ferocious, and just absolutely top notch. They looked outrageously good last night, basically bottling up that entire Washington defense from start or offense from start to finish. Washington getting even worse news as Eckler blew out his Achilles last night, so he's done for the season. Might be done for a career, if we're being honest. As he
yep,
was on the back half, it looked like that was his last shot there, and in Washington to continue his NFL career. Very very unfortunate end for his season last night. Also, we had Dietrich Wise Jr. I don't have a full update on him. However, I am sure that when we get one, it will not be good. He was in full on tears on the field as he was getting carted off last night. Any thoughts on last night outside of Green Bay's just really, really fucking good?
So coming into the season when me and you were talking, I was already kind of high on Green Bay. This is before the Michael Parsons deal. I thought that deal, put them. I felt like they were in the top echelon of the league anyway, especially the NFC side. But now I think they're gonna be hard to beat, especially if they go through the playoffs and what I expect to be home field advantage playing in Lambeau in the wintertime. Um, I just I want to see. I don't know if they play the Eagles this season. I know the Eagles got the best of them last year, but I want to see them against Philadelphia. I think that'll be the biggest test for them. Other than that, it's kind of hard for me to see someone beating this Packers team fully healthy. Because remember, last night Jaden Reed got hurt on the first series. Christian Watson is hurt. He's always hurt. They have so much talent on the offensive side of the ball that is crazy. Tucker Kraft looking like George Kittle 2.0. Who thought that was coming? So you just look at the different receivers. Jordan Love, his ability to apply pressure going downfield. He was so aggressive to me. Kind of like what I talked about with Dak Prescott in week one. Love was taking shots with that defense and trusting his receivers. And what was the big thing with the Packers last year? It was drops. So far, so good. Even with Wicks, he was trusting Wicks last night. Yeah, and that's your boy.
I'm glad you mentioned that, bro. It just seems like they're just at that point where the development curve, everybody's good. And that's
Yeah.
always been a Green Bay thing. They don't go out and get a bunch of free agents. Obviously, we just saw them spend a bunch of money on Micah Parsons to bring him in, money and team assets and draft picks to go get him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what shows you the mark of a very brilliant, smart front office. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm starting to feel like, remember when we traded for CMC?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that with Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers, because they went and got the guy that they handpicked as the piece that they believed that put him over the top. And he, obviously I've been critical about him not being able to stop the run. But remember, you can be a superstar and have talent around you and not have to worry about the flaws to your game, because there are other people who can fill that gap or fill that void that you might not be great at. And
Facts.
I think the team speed as a whole on the defense for Green Bay is something, bro. Their linebackers are fast as fuck. Their corners are physical. And remember, you don't have to be great in the back end if the pass rush is there. If you're getting after the quarterback, if you're stopping people in the backfield, you're going to have an opportunity to be a really good football team. And they just look really good. Any thoughts on Washington? Because I got a couple. One, for me personally, Cliff Kingsbury, what the fuck are you calling? What exactly is your game plan? Calling comeback routes and all types of bullshit. You're in the game at halftime. Obviously, it took every stroke of luck for you to be able to be in the game at halftime, down 2 touchdowns. Obviously, it could have been closer. The kicker missed a field goal. He actually missed another one in the second half as well, which didn't help. But Green Bay gave this football team plenty of opportunities to stick around and gave them a chance to compete, and they just came up short every time.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest takeaway too. It was the play calling, and I mean, I kind of felt like Jaden wasn't aggressive. He only averaged 4 yards per pass attempt last night, 24 of 42, 200 yards. They didn't establish the run at all. They were trying to get the run going with Eckler, which made no sense to me at all. You see the kid Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt. He's the more explosive guy. You give him 4 carries coming off of being a rookie of the week in the NFC last week. So just coming into it, I felt like they let the Packers' performance against the Lions get to them and say, all right, we're going to go about trying to pass the ball against them. It just didn't make sense to me. But when they did try to run it, he had the best numbers: 4 carries, 17 yards, 4 yards per carry. Eckler, 8 carries, 17 yards. And every time we see Eckler running the ball, it's like in slow motion. We look at Eckler as the passing down back now. You know what I'm saying? We look at him for, betting wise for receptions, receiving yards. We're never looking at Austin Eckler for rushing yards. So I just didn't get that approach at all. They kept Jaden bottled up too. He couldn't get going on the ground game. So I was just more so not putting Washington at too much fault. I was just more so impressed with Green Bay. Because I thought, we said coming in, all right, they did that to Detroit. Let's see what happens with Washington here in week 2. And they lived up to the test, man. They pitched a shutout in 2 quarters. Washington, a lot of their points, 15 of the 18 points came in the 4th quarter. And the Packers scored points in every single quarter of this game. So,
and that last touchdown was super garbage time. And the game was out of reach. The only people that benefited from that were people who had Debo on their fantasy team. Here's the crazy part. I was cool with Tucker Kraft going off. Until he scored that touchdown, I had a chance in fantasy. I'm fucked. I'm fucked in the one league that I face him. He ended up with 25 points on the night from your tight end. Tough sledding for me, bro. That shit was tough sledding, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long weekend for you.
Luckily, that was the only league I was against anybody. Everybody else is like full force for the weekend going into it. Don't really have too much on Thursday night. I know that people want to get into the slate. That's what we're going to do for them. Let's see what's the first game that I decided was the one for us today. First
Seahawks and Steelers.
You want to intro this one? I'll pull up the book.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
You can pull up the book. I'll read it off.
Yes, sir. I got it. I got you. Okay, hold on. Remove. There we go.
All right. I can read it off mine. Well, you can pull it up for them, and I'll read it off mine. That way, I can see it a little bit better.
For sure. There it is.
All right, getting into week 2, man. We are going to Pittsburgh for the home opener. Seattle Seahawks coming to town. Pittsburgh laying 3. Odds via FanDuel Sportsbook. The Steelers minus 158 on the money line. The Seahawks plus 134 road dogs. We got a total sitting at 39.5. And remember, last week, the Steelers and Jets, I believe, had the lowest total on the slate. And it was a shootout, 34-32. The Steelers pulled it out. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes. Not the same luck for Seattle. They played a tough 49er defense. Just quick thoughts about this game for me. Would it be in the Steelers home opener? I expect them to win and cover here if I'm telling you about a side. We do have a revenge narrative. DK Metcalf going up against his former team. I expect DK to cook. He had a solid game when he wasn't defended by Sauce Gardner in week 1. I think he still finished with like 70 some odd yards. I think his yard prop is a bit too low. I'm gonna take y'all to prop finder here. We can look at the exact numbers for him. There we go. Let's go DK. So receiving yards, he's sitting at 64.5 on Hard Rock. That's the best line you can get right now, minus 115. He had 83 yards against the Jets. Looking at the Seahawks, what they ran, 56% of the time in week 1. Last year, they're more so 50-50 split between man and zone. We look at DK. He pretty much was solid against both. A little bit of a boost as far as receptions against zone, but remember he was playing with Seattle, so it's a bit different now having Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is a guy who will go off of narratives, and I feel like he's going to want to feed DK and even get him into the end zone against his former team. So I do like DK Metcalf over the 64.5 receiving yards, and I like the anytime touchdown. The best line you can get is on Novig at plus 163, but we could check him on FanDuel if you want to pull that up for him real quick and see what his odds are. But I think he'll get into the end zone. It's the home opener, too. First game at home for him and Rodgers. He's plus 160 on FanDuel. So everything DK for me.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you in regards to DK. Do love the revenge narrative. Obviously, that's the leading thought in everybody's mind. You know, you get traded away, they give you a big contract. Obviously, Pittsburgh's been unable to develop in that receiving room. I mean, we like George Pickens, but I don't think he ever hit his peak playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He also never got a chance to play with Aaron Rodgers either. So it's like one of those things that go hand in hand. Seattle allowed 4 25-plus yard receptions last week against San Francisco. So that bodes well. That bodes well for them. Again, 4 25-yard receptions from a team who really like it's not like not that Brock Purdy's like a big arm quarterback or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at that at all. So in this instant, Calvin Austin, longest reception is worth a bet. Calvin Austin, again, volume, opportunity, and just having a better quarterback throwing you the fucking ball. Those are two things that are obviously major. If you're going to have to double up against a guy like DK, I love Calvin Austin's longest reception. I'm going to pull it up for us real quick.
I picked him up in every fantasy league off waivers this weekend. I mean, yesterday, pretty much.
Let me go. I'm going to the reception. And for Calvin Austin, I think his number is still at 17.5. And if it's not, I like it either way.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll put that right here.
It got bumped to 18.5 on FanDuel. I do love it. I can't lie. I do love the Calvin Austin's longest reception just because of volume. And then on the other side, you gotta roll with JSN, man. JSN is probably juiced right now at 4.5, 5.5. He had 9 targets or 13 targets, I believe, last week against San Francisco. Either 13 or 9. I gotta look that up. But just off a volume standpoint, I think he'll be able to perform well. He's without question their best receiver. Anybody that thought Cooper Kupp might cut into that, Cooper Kupp did see the most snaps now on the field for the offense as far as a receiver, but he was ineffective. He was
Right.
relatively ineffective. Also, a couple things to keep in mind. I know a lot of people are super high on Charbonnet after seeing him play last week. He played well in the first half. Just remember, he got outsnapped in the second half by Kenneth Walker. I see a lot of people high on Charbonnet. He got outsnapped in the second half by Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker also missed time in the preseason and the end training camp with nagging injuries. You want to be a little tentative before you declare that Charbonnet is the guy in the backfield. You know what I mean? Obviously, they split time, but don't get ahead of yourself saying, "Hey, man, I really think Charbonnet's the guy," or "I really believe Kenneth Walker is like out the door." You got to kind of play that by ear. I see a lot of people on the timeline ready to exalt Charbonnet as the guy, and I'm not ready to do it. I don't know about you.
I mean, I don't overreact to anything that we see in week one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not ready to just cut off Kenneth Walker yet. I mean, I wasn't too high on them coming into the season anyway, but I'm not gonna overreact to week one. I think we'll really see what's going on Sunday.
All right.
I had some more nuggets too for your JSN look. The Steelers are a heavy zone team. They ran zone 55% of the time last season. They ran zone 64% of the time against the Jets. Looking at JSN last year, his target share went up 11% against zone compared to man. 56 targets against man, 81 targets against zone, 61 receptions against zone compared to 39 receptions against man. 5 touchdowns against zone compared to 1 touchdown against man. Red zone targets, 8 red zone targets against zone compared to 4 red zone targets against man. So I do agree with you on the JSN look. And we've seen the Steelers secondary give it up all last week. So I'm not mad at a JSN longest reception either. Definitely like yards too. Go ahead.
And also, I'd be all over players for a sack against Darnold. While Darnold can move, he is not Justin Fields. That high level athleticism and mobility, you're not going to get that. Having a mobile quarterback, we talk about it all the time about the evolution of the quarterback position. If your quarterback can't make something shake, it makes you a lot easier to defend. If that's not part of the defensive plan, that the quarterback can move, I think that's what you kind of see this week. I think that Pittsburgh will be their defense will be much more effective because they're not facing a special freak athlete at quarterback. Before we get on to the next game, I do have some trends that are relative to both these teams in regards to the personnel that exists right now, and just some trends that have gone back to other seasons, but they're just things that could play a part in the game. Calvin Austin has scored a touchdown in 3 of the Steelers' last 4 games as favorites, including last week. Their last 4 home games have all gone under. The under is obviously 39.5. A lot of people would expect a bounce back from their defense, given that they're not playing a mobile quarterback. Jonnu Smith has scored a touchdown in his last 5 appearances when his team is a favorite. He scored last week on a handoff. I think we think that the offense does have some big things in store for him. Kenneth Walker has scored in 3 of his last 4 road games at plus 150. I like it. I think it's a depressed number just based on the fact that a lot of people are dick riding Charbonnet when I think Ken Walker still is the alpha in that backfield. The Steelers have not covered a spread in 6 straight games dating back to last year. Charbonnet has also scored a touchdown in the last 5 games against AFC teams. So those are just some little tidbits in regards to this game for all my trend people. I guess we can get on to the next game. And that is going to be the New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins. One team that really had zero hope or anything positive come about from week 1 would be the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you can really say it for both of these teams. Geno Smith went into New England and just absolutely obliterated that defense to the tune of 364 yards through the air. Let me read this off. They gave up 10 catches. 10 catches as a team. 10 catches at the tight end position between Mayer and Bowers. They went crazy against them. Yeah, they had a lot of trouble defending the tight end position. The Dolphins also had a problem defending the tight end position. They gave up 8 catches for 96 yards between the 2 tight ends from Indianapolis last week. That's 2 things that stuck out to me. And then obviously we can't compare the Colts to another team because obviously they don't have the same offensive line. Obviously, the major thing for New England is that Christian Gonzalez is not available. We have seen Christian Gonzalez perform well against Tyreek Hill when he's actually healthy and on the field. Unfortunately, those days have been few and far between in the last year and a half. He has been hurt, and he continues to stay made of paper mache and always hurt, which is a problem, obviously, for the New England Patriots. One more thing. The last time Tua Tagovailoa saw this defense or this team, what do you think he did?
Was it good or bad?
It was great. It wasn't just good, it was great.
What was it?
29 for 40, 317, 4 touchdowns. Last November when he saw them at home. Last time he saw them in Miami.
Damn.
29 for 40, 317, and 4 touchdowns. I'm not saying that last week was an aberration from Geno Smith, but you're down your number one corner. Tua has a history of smoking you the last time, especially at home the last time you saw them. That's something interesting to look at. I think as far as a matchup, right? Like you look at Tyreek and Waddle, and you're thinking, hey, they should have ample opportunities if their offensive line could hold up in this one. But I just can't give out anything official on their receivers, man. I just can't do it because it's just. I mean, you just saw how terrible they looked last week. They looked disinterested in the game. They didn't even look like they fucking wanted to be there. You know what I mean? It looked like it looked like both Tyreek and Waddle were looking for reasons to get out of the game. If I'm gonna be frank with you about it, they didn't look like they wanted to play anymore once they started getting their ass whooped. Which I guess still doesn't make any sense. They're both getting paid a lot of fucking money. They looked like they didn't even want to be there. So the lean would definitely be Waddle and Tyreek. Why would their receivers not perform well against a secondary we just saw get shredded by Jacoby fucking Myers and Michael Mayer?
Jacoby went dumb.
So a couple also just off the trend and just off of like matchup, I think we got to attack Hunter Henry over 35.5 yards in this one. I just think if Miami's going to give up 100 receiving yards to tight ends and 8 catches in week 1 between Hunter Henry and Mo Alley Cox, 35.5 yards is very, very much gettable against Miami. And then also I would not be opposed to the 54.5 over receiving and rushing total for Travion Henderson. We just saw Jonathan Taylor perform really well. I think it's also pretty clear that Travion's RB1 in that building. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We knew that coming into the year.
Any thoughts and leans or likes in this one?
Just like you, it's kind of hard for me when it comes to betting on the Miami receivers. Seeing these depressed numbers is kind of tempting, though. We were looking at Waddle receiving yards at 49.5. I know some news just came out about his injury status a little while ago on Underdog. Before we went live, I had to check into that and see what the update was. Seeing his longest reception at 19.5 is crazy, especially looking at this New England defense that gave up 9 passes of 20 or more yards, 3 passes of 30 or more yards for a total of 12 explosive plays in the passing game.
In one game? In one game?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Now that's wait, is that just air yards? I don't believe so. Yeah. So even if it was a screen, as long as the pass play went 20 yards, that's what Prop Finder tracks. So yeah. Sure. So it's kind of tempting. I was looking at Tyreek Hill as well. Oh, I'm sorry. Tyreek, his longest reception is at 22.5. I mean, of course, you always.
Can you zoom in a slight bit?
When I zoom in, it kind of goes crazy. I don't know how to do it with my Mac. Let me
Shift command plus button.
See, it just goes right to 200. You see it?
No, it didn't blow up on mine. It looks the same on mine.
Oh, hold on. What about now?
It looks the same, pretty much. Shift command plus usually works.
Let me try. Shift, but there's no command button on Mac.
Oh, you mean on PC?
I'm sorry, not on Mac. On PC, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I'm a Mac guy. You already know. But yeah, you were saying in regards to Tyreek, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just looks a little bit small on the screen.
Yeah, I was but when I do it, it'll zoom like it goes between 100% and 200%, like no in between. Like if I could get to like 125, it'd be perfect, but it doesn't let me. Um, but I was saying his longest reception at 22.5 was it's tempting for me too, just because of how many explosive plays New England gave up, and then it being a bounce back spot for the Dolphins, and then we got no Christian Gonzalez too, so it's like it's a
Try
lot of
that.
wins stacking up. You know what I'm saying for the Miami side prop wise. They just have to bounce back. Um, they have to bounce back. I just can't see them not getting right, man. But if I'm going to trust anybody, it'll be Tariq Hill before I trust Waddle, because at least Tariq be healthy. Well, Waddle, man, I call him Mr. Blue Tent.
Bro, the
Whenever I bet
minute
him,
every time he catch a pass, you go to the blue tent. Like you said, that shit is
yeah,
insane.
I can't do that, man. So
Every
yeah,
time.
I'll go with Tariq Hill, longest reception. A-Chain touchdown -109. Odds are not good, but I do expect him to get into the end zone. That'll help my fantasy team too. But yeah, I look for this one to be Tariq Hill, longest reception, over 22.5. Definitely not mad at the Henry look. He led the team in targets, him, Boutte, and then Diggs.
Yep.
Diggs had 7 targets. I mean, his receiving prop is at 38.5. That's way too low. Hunter Henry at 31.5 is low as well. So, I mean, all the Miami defense looked horrible though. So,
I mean, that's the thing too. They were fucking terrible. The thing is
yeah,
too is that like when a defense performs that badly, you don't know if to give the offense credit or to just say the defense is ass. I'll give you a perfect example, right? You know what I was thinking when I was watching the game last night?
what?
It wasn't like how good Green Bay was. Yo, just how fucking terrible are the Giants?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how fucking bad are they for real? Like, I
the
mean, they're
Giants.
supposed to have this scary pass rush and they have a big interior lineman. They got 3 guys that can rush the passer, and these motherfuckers couldn't do anything against Jaden on Sunday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know what I mean? Like that's all I was thinking. I'm like, damn, the Giants suck that bad? It's insane.
I think they will. I think they do.
Isn't that bad? It's tough, man.
I think Dak is going to show us about that secondary on Sunday.
I'm cheering for the youngin, man. I'm cheering to hopefully get the youngin out there.
How many more weeks?
I mean, I like Malik Neighbors. I like the fact that like he's not throwing anybody under the bus. He's saying all the right things. I like that about him. I think we see Jackson Dart much sooner than later, though. I think it kind of has to be. James said, "What's Diggs' number?"
38.5 on Bet Rivers.
38.5. Best
Way
number,
too
Bet
low.
Rivers.
Way too low.
And I got a couple of more trends in regards to this game. Let me just pull up my.
Somebody said try Control and Plus on PC. I'll try that while you pull up the other numbers.
All right. So we got.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. There it is. See, the chat's always good for something. What am I looking for? The Dolphins versus the Patriots. Each of the Dolphins' last 6 games at the crib have gone over. The number's 46.5, 43.5. Do with that what you'd like. Jalen Waddle's on a 4-game touchdown streak against the Patriots at home. He scored 4 consecutive games in Miami against New England. Kayshon Boutte has scored a touchdown in each of the Patriots' last 2 games against an AFC East opponent. His touchdowns at plus 310. Ramondre Stevenson has scored a touchdown in 3 of his last 4 performances against AFC East teams. Performs well against the division. The Dolphins have covered the spread in each of their last 9 games against the New England Patriots. 9 consecutive covers against the Patriots if you're looking for a trend. The home team has won 8 of the Dolphins' last 9 games.
Damn.
And I'm saying that because, they got pretty much the same personnel. Tyreek Hill has scored in 4 of the Dolphins' last 5 games following a loss.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. I like
Touchdown
that one.
plus money.
I
Let's
like
see.
that one. 80% hit rate last 5 over after a loss. I like that a lot. A lot.
Touchdown plus 155. That long reception could end up being a touchdown. I'm sold.
Yeah. I mean, no Gonzo. Yeah, Tyreek should be all systems go for them for certain. All right. Next game we're going to get into is a divisional matchup of two teams looking to avoid going 0-2. That would be the Chicago Bears traveling to Detroit to take on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Let me pull this up on the FanDuel. We got a 6.5-point line. Detroit favorite, obviously.
6.5?
Yeah, it's up to 6. It was 5.5. Now it's 6.5. Yeah, line moved up. Like when I made the graphics, they were the line. Those were the opening lines on the graphic.
I just want the chat to know he misspelled Lions.
Yeah, because they be lying. Them Lions be lying. For real. They're fucking garbage. They don't even deserve the S. They're liars. Lions. They lie on everything. They're a fugazi diamond right now. I can't even lie. They're about as fugazi as it gets. Offensive line absolutely looked like dog shit in week 1. Caleb Williams looked really good in the opening drive of the game and then proceeded to look like a big bag of dog shit for the next 3 quarters outside of one drive. He completed no vertical shots down the field. Same goes for Detroit. Now, Detroit's performance might have been a direct correlation and consequence of the Green Bay defense, who we saw look amazing again last night. So I understand why the line's 6.5, I guess, right? It's just, man, they just faced a really good team outside of their element, outside against, a Green Bay team that just seems like world beaters at the moment. I'll let you go first in regards to your thoughts in regards to any bets or leans. I got a couple personally, but I'll let you go first.
The first thing I want to do is check on the status of Jalen Johnson for the Bears.
He practiced in full yesterday.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So
yeah, he practiced in full yesterday, even though he was nursing 2 injuries. But obviously, I think they just sat in week 1 to make sure he's 100%. And then also, he's making too much fucking money to not play coming off a loss, respectfully.
Facts. For me, just looking at the flow of the game, I think Detroit will be able to get that run game back established here against Chicago. What happened with Minnesota? The game turned around once Jordan Mason came in and they were able to run the football. They tried to run the ball early with Aaron Jones, wasn't going anywhere. Mason came in, weathered the storm, boom, the offense got going. Now, Detroit, I believe they'll be able to do that. I believe Gibbs and Montgomery will get back on track. The Bears were bad against the run last season after being great against the run in 2023. So I think this is kind of a get right spot. I'm surprised to see the spread at 6.5 because I do think, the Bears are a talented bunch. It just, we have to see when is it going to click for everyone as a unit for Chicago. I think that's the main thing. So if I'm leaning aside, I do like Detroit, but I don't know about them covering though. And like you said, it could just be that they ran into that buzzsaw in Green Bay. And now, boom, we get the little bros now in Chicago, and they could get right.
Little bros is crazy.
It's crazy how quick life could change, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like as a kid, were the Lions ever good when you were a kid? Not one time ever were they good.
Nothing was good in Detroit.
Now as an adult, everything is where it's at. Detroit's where it's at now. It's
fucking nuts. They got Cade. They be hooping now. You know what I'm saying? So
they redid the whole downtown of Detroit. It's fucking beautiful now. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
So yeah, looking at this one, I do believe that the Lions can pull it off. I could see more points being scored too, though, like the 46.5. Revenge game. Well, not revenge game, because it's not revenge for Ben Johnson. He elevated, right? But it's a welcome back to Detroit. Now you a op. You know what I'm saying? So we can see how that goes. I don't know, man. It kind of looked like Inskran. I always say his name wrong, but the OC for the Jets, who's the passing game coordinator in Detroit, I'm seeing some rumors and little media articles saying that he had more impact on that offense than what was led on to believe. He
Right.
was the passing game coordinator, and he looked great against the Steelers, right? So I know we need to see if the Detroit offense, is that magic just gone or what? And I think this is a good spot to show, especially on the ground, because I do respect the Bears secondary, especially when Jalen Johnson is on the field. But I think for the method to success for Detroit in this one will be running the football. I took David Montgomery for a touchdown last week, but they couldn't really move the ball against the Packers. I think that'll be a little bit of a difference this week. So my look betting wise for this game is David Montgomery anytime touchdown. I'm gonna pull up some numbers here for him too.
For sure.
What you have in this one, betting wise?
All right. So check it out. Couple things that were just a little strange to me. J.J. McCarthy only completed 13 passes on Monday night.
Sheesh.
He had 13 completions on the night. And he's mobile, right? He can move. We saw him score a rushing touchdown. Obviously, the offensive play calling was a little vanilla in the first half. That might have been by design from one. Carlton Davis plays for the Patriots now, kicks for Boogie. He is no longer a Detroit Lion. What was I saying? So that's something that I thought about. Only 13 attempts from the opposing quarterback, and they still lost the game. Or 13 completions, and they still lost the game, right?
Yep.
I think I'm right on par with you. I think it might be a good look for the run game of Detroit. Obviously, their offensive line looked fucking outrageously bad against Green Bay. Green Bay was able to just dominate the line of scrimmage, which is something we haven't seen here in the last 4 to 5 years in Detroit. It's just something we have not seen. I actually like a builder parlay on the Detroit side, and that's Jahmyr Gibbs 60 rushing yards and a touchdown at plus 119. I think that the value is there. I think if Jordan Mason can get 80 yards or 70 yards or close to it in regards to what was Jordan Mason's final line last week? He did the majority of that on like 3 drives. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, and I just think Dan Campbell is one of those guys who knows, like, I got to just feed the beast. Odd game for him last week. Obviously ended up with 10 catches. Rome Odunze is actually the guy that I'm going to go with in regards to my look for Chicago. I like Rome Odunze's receptions right now on FanDuel. It's super juiced. It's kind of weird, right? Because look at this. It is right now. I think it's at 3.5. I got it. It's at minus 168 was the number I was seeing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So you got him at minus 168. Obviously, the juice is kind of crazy, but I'm not mad at the 6+. I think Odunze is the guy. I like DJ Moore, and I think DJ Moore is a really versatile player that you can put all over the field. But I think that it's no surprise. I think that Odunze is really the number one guy. You don't draft a guy top 10 for him not to be your number one guy, just historically, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 catches at plus 130. His 6 catches are plus 240. I'm not mad at taking a shot at either of these. I think that Green Bay would have thrown the ball more last week if they had to, but the second half, they didn't have to do shit.
Kind of like yesterday.
Yeah, it's when you play really good football and your defense gets off the field and they don't give up explosives, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to get through, right? It's pretty easy to handle business. So, yeah, those are my 2 looks. I like Gibbs 60 and a touchdown. I think he bounces back and performs well against a defense that is nowhere near where Green Bay is right now. I think that's pretty clear given the second half. Outside of that pick 6 by Chicago, their defense did not play particularly well in the second half. Mm-hmm. They got ran on, they got passed on, and they had a shit ton of fucking penalties. So,
thanks.
Anything else before we move on to the next one? I do have some trends and thoughts in regards to the game. If you don't have anything else,
no, I just pulled up Mason's stats for you. 15 attempts for 68 yards, 1 reception. Then I was looking at some of the Bears' run defense numbers from last season and then last week. They allowed 64 explosive runs. So an explosive run in the NFL is any run of 10 or more yards. 12 20-plus yard runs, and 82 total explosive runs last season for a 16.9% explosive run rate. So that's right up Jahmyr Gibbs' alley. He did gash the Bears last season too.
Yep.
109 yards and 107 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Longest rush against them was 28-yarder back in November. That first meeting, and that was in Detroit. So at the crib, like where they will be this week. So I do like that. And then I looked at the run types too. Now Gibbs didn't have much success, but on man duo runs, he averaged 7 yards to carry. And last week, the Bears allowed 5.7 yards per carry on man duo runs. If you're not familiar with that term, it's when you have two one-on-one double team blocks, something like that. I forgot, bro. What you know what it means at the line of scrimmage.
For sure, yeah.
For the people who use prop finder. Oh, actually, hold on, they got the note for y'all. Oh, it just say man duo yards per attempt. But if you look up the definition, they'll show you like these are all different run types when you're using prop finder. And it's gonna. Oh, here you go. Power without a puller, a downhill run play that emphasizes double teams at the point of attack. So Jahmyr Gibbs averaged 7 yards per carry on those run types. The Bears gave up 5.7 yards. So it's a matchup made in heaven for Gibbs. We just need him to perform.
All right. See in the chat, James said he doesn't mind Swift's over 13.5 first quarter rushing yards, and Gibbs, obviously, we've mentioned that the 10 catches over 3.5. You can't be mad at that. Isn't it funny how they compared him to Alvin Kamara, and like he's starting to like morph into Alvin Kamara?
Oh, Gibbs.
Yeah, he's like quite literally. I think he's got a little different gear than Kamara. Kamara's more of a glider when he runs. You know?
Yeah. I think Gibbs got more. He's more explosive.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Oh, the next one's on you. No.
The next one's on me.
Yeah, but nah. Let me. I'll do the honors of this one.
Of course.
Let's go to New York, man. Buffalo Bills. Let me pull up the FanDuel screen for
traveling to the city, eh?
Yeah, they are. Well, is it really a travel? New York to New York.
Traveling downstate, bro. Yeah. I'll pull it up. I got you. Bills, Jets. There you go.
Yep. All right. There we go. Buffalo Bills traveling to New York to take on the Jets. We got Buffalo laying 6.5 on the road. The Jets a plus 250 home dog. Total sitting at 47.5. I believe that's like 10 points higher than the Jets and Steelers total last week. That shit was I think it was 37.5. Something like that. Going into this one, man, we've seen the Bills and Ravens have a movie. What was it? A 10+ point comeback for the Buffalo Bills with under 4 minutes to play. The Ravens do what the Ravens do. Sorry to the Ravens fans in the chat. I'm completely unbiased, just calling it how I see it. You know what I'm saying? The Jets coming off a shootout and a loss to the Steelers at the crib. Betting wise with this one, when I saw the 7.5 points, I wanted to take that with the Jets. Obviously, the line is gone now, but I feel like the way they can run the football and control the time of possession, I feel like it's a lot of points in a divisional game. 8 points, that's 7.5. I felt like that would have been a great spot for a Jets cover. I'm seeing some analysts taking the Jets to win. Of course, I'm a Fields fan. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it'd be a huge win if he could pull this off, especially at the crib. But the key to success for the New York Jets is going to be running the football. I'm going to use Prop Finder here to take y'all to this Buffalo Bills defense and show y'all what they gave up on the ground to one Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson last week. Now, some people will say, oh, that's Derrick Henry. Nah, the Bills been getting gashed by running backs since last year, and we've been fading them the entire time. We're going to fade them again.
And Oliver is not playing.
Yes.
Their best defensive stop, best defensive player probably, and their best run-stopping defensive lineman is not playing.
Did he play last week?
Oh, did he? He's the one who forced the fumble.
Oh, he did? I'm tripping. Holy shit, they're cooked.
It's their best fucking player.
Hold on, man. Let me see. Because as soon as I saw that news from Underdog, I'm like, oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to be a movie. Man, I'm trying to get to the. Let me just search it on here. I'm trying to get to the Jets game for y'all, but I think I'm scrolling past it on Prop Finder. Let me just search it here.
Yeah, no
All right,
worries.
Bills, Jets. Here we go. So, the Bills ran zone 54% of the time last week. The Steelers ran zone as well, so that could be, another spot for Fields to be comfortable. The Jets ran man 55 points, so pretty much 56% of the time. I like a lot of props on both sides in this one. I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm gonna get into my favorite look though. We're gonna go right back here to Brees, man. Rushing yards. I'm keeping it simple. 55.5 rushing yards for a healthy Brees Hall is just simply far too low. The Buffalo Bills last week gave up 11.3 yards per carry, Sosa, on outside zone runs.
Oh, we saw.
11.3
We saw.
yards per carry.
Yeah.
Brees last week on outside zone runs, he averaged 5.6 yards per carry. So it's, almost a first down every 2 runs. Literally, that is a first down every 2 rush attempts. They gave up 10 explosive run plays. I'm sorry. No, 10 rushes of 10 or more yards. They gave up 18 total explosive run plays in one game. They gave up 10 carries of 10 or more yards, 3 carries of 20 or more yards, 3 carries of 30 or more yards, and 2 carries of 40 or more yards. I'm wondering, is the 30 and 40 combined together? Maybe? Because was it really this bad? Was it Derrick Henry had a 49-yarder? Did he have another 40-yarder or something?
He had another long run. Remember, he had like a long run that wasn't a touchdown, and then a long run that wasn't a touchdown. One was a
Holy
touchdown, the other wasn't.
shit. And then Lamar had a 19. Oh, Justice. Oh, I'm about to say, wait, that's old. And this is only showing running backs too. And I think Lamar had like a 19-yarder as well. 62% explosive run rate allowed by the Bills defense in week 1. If we go back to last season, not many things changed, man. They gave up 80 explosive runs last year, 3 rushes of 40 or more yards. They gave up 2 already in 1 week this season. 62 runs of 10 yards or more. So you see the power run yards per attempt, 5.3 yards allowed. Brees Hall last year, when he wasn't even 100% healthy, averaged 5.2 yards per carry on power run attempts, and now he's fully healthy with what could be one of the top offensive lines in the league. I don't know if y'all seen some of the clips of the Jets offensive line last week, but the pockets they were creating, and that was against the Steelers pass rush, was insane to see. There's no TJ Watts on this field for Buffalo, and then Ed Oliver is hurt. So it's a matchup made in heaven for a team who wants to run the football. So Brees Hall, I like everything. Rushing yards over 55.5. Longest rush over 14.5. Check out. This is one thing like you can kind of keep up with, right? Look at what teams give up and what area they struggle with the most. I'm telling y'all how the Bills struggle against explosive runs. Boom. Look at Brees Hall head-to-head explosive runs against the Bills just last season when he wasn't 100%. He had a 42-yard run in October and then a 17-yard run in December. He's over a 14.5, so he's at a 15 or more yard run, and 10 of his last 17 games had an 18-yarder last week. I think Brees can have a long house call today. Sunday. I feel like, bro, a lot of people forget how explosive he is, and we seen the explosiveness last week. He had a 33-yard reception last week. I think he'll get that on the ground this week. So rush attempts, rushing yards, anytime touchdown, longest rush, Brees Hall, everything. It's my favorite play on the board for Sunday, just of any game.
He looks healthy. He looks like himself again. You know what I mean? Like his rookie year, he was insane. He looked great, and then obviously got hurt. But I think the explosiveness is back. He really looked like that guy again. So some trends in regards to this one. I got to get my other phone back up. Give me 1 second.
Bet.
In this game particularly, because obviously I didn't have too much. Obviously, it's your team, so I'm gonna let you do your thing. Each of the Jets' last 6 games against AFC opponents have gone over 6 straight games, AFC games. Garrett Wilson has scored in 3 of the last 4 games against the Bills.
Yep.
Cook has scored 1 touch. James Cook has scored at least 1 touchdown in 8 of the Bills' last 9 regular season games. Justin Fields has scored at least 1 touchdown in 5 of his last 6 home appearances against conference teams. Justin Fields has not thrown an interception in his last 4 appearances as a starter. The home team has won each of the Bills' last 7 games.
Oh shit!
That's kind of interesting right there. The underdogs have covered. The underdogs have covered the spread in 9 of the last 11 games between the Bills and Jets at MetLife.
Damn.
Interesting. Very, very interesting in regards to the matchups we're getting. I don't have too much. Don't have too much for that. Only 2 games left to talk about. Next game we're going to get into is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I had one question for you, real quick, on this one.
Go ahead.
What do you think they do with Sauce? Like, there's no clear wide receiver 1, right? You stick him on Keon, or what do you think they do?
I think that the one thing the Bills have done,
DK.
I think the thing is with the Bills is the Bills do such a great job of matching personnel now based on just like knowing if you're gonna get zone, knowing if you're gonna get man, and they just got players that are specifically good at certain things. You mean Baltimore played off man, Keon Coleman killed him, obviously, right? You playing off man up 14 points in the 4th quarter, trying to make some fucking sense. But I wouldn't be opposed to Coleman. I think that especially bigger receivers now, I feel like we don't give them the time of day. You know what I mean? Like they got to be tall. They don't create they stay. With Coleman, it was he's not great at creating separation, all that other shit. I don't think that matters. You're a big target and you have a quarterback that knows how to get you the ball. You can be effective. It's hard to bet on him because consistency is what you look for if you're going to be betting on a guy. Unless his production just stands out to the point where you just have to bet it. So I don't know. I think Sauce probably plays one side, and whoever comes to that side, you deal with. I don't really think that you're in the game plan. You're looking at any other receivers like a DK Metcalf. I think that the game plan goes through Josh Allen and James Cook, and obviously Allen's much more mobile than the quarterback that they saw last week. So. I'm not too. I don't think Sauce is going to be in a situation where he goes and shadows anybody across the board. I don't think there's any point in that per se.
Yep.
Most I said, and then I read off all the trends in regards to that one. We'll get on to the next game briefly. Like I said, I want to get onto the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. In this one, you got the Bengals laying 3.5. Hold on, let me get my. The Bengals laying 3.5. Over under a 49.5. Listen, can't take too much away from what I saw last week in regards to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You had a 2-hour weather delay in the middle of the game, which never happens. So I don't really know what to make of the second half. As soon as the game started back, Etienne had like a 70-yard run in which he didn't score, ended up with almost 150 rushing yards again. And then it comes up with that, and then they trade Bigsby the next day.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was very, very strange behavior from a team where we didn't even know who running back 1 was. And then after one game, you basically just get rid of the other guy. I'm not gonna lie, getting 2 draft picks for Tank Bigsby also was not on my bingo card. I didn't think that would be the case, but nonetheless, they did do that, and it happened. Let me pull my notes up. In this matchup, just some talking points. Travis Hunter is supposed to play a little bit more on defense. I know everybody wants to see him as this 2-way unicorn that we all love, a special athlete that won a Heisman Trophy, obviously. Didn't do a whole lot in his first game, right? Not a ton in his first game. Like Country Boy just said, Travis Hunter versus Jamar Chase. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Travis Hunter can offer any level of physicality against a Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase in this one I like. I like Jamar to score. He's juiced at minus 130. Like his yards too. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes crazy. Ted McMillan had 5 for 68 last week against this team, and those were just straight out of the X. You know what I mean? Just lining him up one place and just throwing him the ball. Didn't really move him around much. Jamar Chase, ATD minus 130. The play that I love the most, though, is Brenton Strange over 33.5 receiving yards. I like it up to 40 plus in this one at plus 130. Cincinnati last week gave up 10 catches for 110 yards to Joe Flacco, Harold Fannin Jr., and David Njoku. So Brenton Strange, I don't see a problem. I don't see a reason for him not to get, plenty of action. They got rid of obviously Evan Ingram. They let him go. Brenton Strange is in a good situation there where, he could possibly make himself a lot of money if he puts up the numbers this season. So I like for Brenton Strange over 33.5 receiving yards. Not too much for me on the Jacksonville side. I don't know what to make of anything. I'm putting zero stock in their first game performance at all, just simply because Carolina's defense is ass. Let's be honest. We expected them to be ass. They gave up 26 points in their opening game. Obviously, Bryce Young did not help the defense at all. He was awful.
Facts. You done with this one?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have something on the Jacksonville side or Cincinnati, we're just getting the late game in the Eagles game.
So I do like the strange look with you. I'll keep it real quick. I got a nice little nugget here. So Joe Burrow, he threw for 113 yards in week 1, and they still won, right? He's been held under 200 yards passing in only 14 games. In the following game, when he's under 200 yards passing, he's averaging 298 yards per game and 2 passing touchdowns. And now you get to face the Jaguars, who gave up the most passing yards in the league last season. They ran zone 70% of the time against Bryce Young. So I'm expecting to see Joe Shiesty this week. So I do agree with you with Chase getting active. I'm thinking Higgins too. I think it's one of those games where Joe Burrow probably puts up about 3 touchdowns and about 280 to 300 yards.
Yeah, I'm on the same page, bro. I think that both teams should have some success offensively. Can you actually pull up something for me that I want the people to see? And that's the how much Cincinnati played man last week.
Oh yeah, okay, hold on.
Yeah, I want people to see that because I remember we did a bunch of preview stuff, and I talked about Al Golden's the new offensive coordinator, and I told people that he would run a lot of man. I want you to pull up how much man they ran week 1, if you can.
I think it was like 57%. Hold on.
Yeah.
So last year they got him at zone 50.9% of the time, but then last week it goes over to man 54.2% of the time.
So they played more man than they did zone.
Yep, too high 40% of the time.
And remember, this is against a relatively shitty receiving core. I mean, I like Calvin Ridley, but your game plan when you're facing a 40-year-old Joe Flacco, it's relatively. You don't have to worry about certain things when he's the quarterback.
You mean you like Judy?
I like Judy. Who'd I say?
Ridley.
They both went to Alabama, bro. I don't know why the fuck I confused them so much. And I think they played together. I think Ridley was out 1 year before him or 2. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. I always mix them up for some reason. Ridley and Judy. I even gave a play once on a show, and I was like Calvin Ridley and the Pips. I said that, and it was Jerry Judy and the Pips is what I meant to say in regards to the receiving core for Cleveland.
It was a big switch for Jacksonville. Last year they ran man 58% of the time, and last week zone 70% of the time.
Yeah, again, it's just in this one. I like I'm not mad at the over. I'm just waiting to see how bad how bad the Bengals defense really is, because we didn't get like they didn't look terrible last week, right? But obviously also they played a 40-year-old quarterback and a damn good defense on the Cleveland side, right? So we don't quite know. Not mad at Trevor to throw a pick, like Ben Swag just said. Yeah, this is my favorite. This Chase is actually one of my favorite looks as far as the receiving. Chuba Hubbard was able to clear his receiving line really easily last week. Not mad at Chase Brown's receiving yards. I don't know what his number is, and I haven't even looked at it.
The first quarter, 0.5. Definitely take that.
Yep, not mad at that at all.
A full game, he's at 15.5 receiving yards.
On Green Bay, it's on FanDuel, it's 17.5. So I'm not mad at his receiving yards. Chuba, like I said, Chuba Hubbard cleared that really easy last week in shitty weather. So no reason to be scared of betting on Chuba Hubbard's receiving.
Yeah, but then another quick breakdown too for Joe Burrow. Now, like I said, last year the Jaguars ran man 58% of the time. Last week they ran zone 70%. If they do choose to continue to run that zone against Joe Burrow, his completion percentage last year against man was 62%. His completion percentage against zone was 80.7%. He threw for 2,500 yards against zone, 2,400 against man. Now, he did have 35 touchdowns against man compared to 8 against zone. But, you get into that red zone, it's going to be man coverage anyway. So, it's setting up to be a great day for Burrow, like I was saying. Passing touchdowns at 1.5 is juice. Minus 213. Damn. Definitely not taking that. I would just take the 3, if anything. What's his passing yards? 270. Oh, yeah, they already know what's up. He threw for 113 yards last week, and his passing prop is 269.5. Yeah, they know.
They know that's not Cleveland's defense.
Yeah.
They know Myles Garrett on the other side. And I like Josh Hines Allen, but he's not Myles Garrett.
Facts.
He's not Myles Garrett. Really, really good player, though. Really do like him for Jacksonville. Final game. Oh, no, let me read out. Let me check out. I got the trends on my phone. Some quick trends in regards to this one for the Brian Thomas has scored 1 touchdown in 4 of the last 5 Jaguar games. Obviously, he didn't score he scored on Sunday, had 1 catch. Each of the Jaguars' last 6 games following a win has gone over. The number's 49. Noah Fant has scored a touchdown in his last 2 games. T. Higgins has scored the first touchdown in each of the Bengals' last 2 home games. The Bengals have failed to cover the spread in their last 4 home openers as favorites. The Bengals have won each of their last 6 games in the regular season. The Jaguars have lost the first half in each of their last 7 games as a road underdog. They lost the first half 7 consecutive times as a road dog. Trevor Lawrence has scored a touchdown in each of his last 2 games against the Bengals running the ball. Trevor Lawrence has thrown at least 1 interception in each of his last 4 appearances as a player. His number is juiced at minus 138 for a pick. Those are some trends in regards to this one. We're going to get on to probably the most biggest game of the week. Obviously, we got 3 primetime games this week between Sunday and Monday. We got 1 on Sunday night, 2 on Monday night. Yep. But I'm sorry. We got 2 more games. We got Carolina versus
Arizona.
They're taking each other. They're taking on each other in Arizona. It's a 4:00 start. You got Arizona laying 6.5. Going up against the Carolina team, who we obviously saw look like complete shit last week. We don't know how much of it we're going to put on the defense being really bad or the weather delay that they went through. But just in general, I do have a couple of plays. I'm going to get to them real quick. Do you have anything for this game?
Whoop-de-doo.
We going to prison.
Nah, I got nothing for this game.
Well, whoop-de-doo. Oh, my Lord Jesus. In this one, let me pull up my phone. My notes were... Okay. In this one, I am running back Marvin Harrison's longest reception from last week. Again, it's at 22.5. Within a couple of weeks, it's going to be higher. Marvin's numbers at 55.5 for the game. His longest reception is at 21.5 now, juiced at -125. I love it. You run it back because he's going to get vertical targets, at least this year. Last week, a note, the tight end position did go crazy against Arizona. Juwan Johnson had 8 catches for 76 yards. Should have caught a touchdown, but it got broken up. Not really super pressed to put my hard-earned money on Jatavian Sanders, but I would not be surprised if he performs well, just simply off the volume standpoint. Juwan Johnson being open is a thing, obviously, in regards to the Arizona defense. I think that's just a position they'll struggle against. If he's able to get off for 8 for 76, I would not be surprised if a tight end for Carolina is able to perform well. Last week, also, Carolina struggled with a speed back. Gave a 143 yards to ETN. I'm not mad at Trey Benson's lines. Trey Benson, a young running back, had a great game in week 1. His numbers at 36.5. Obviously, he had 8 for 60 or 67 last week, I want to say.
8 for 69.
69 last week, and he performed well. I think speedbacks are going to be an issue for Carolina. I just don't think the back end their defense is that good. So not mad at the Trey Benson look, not mad at the Connor look either. I think either running back should be able to get off. And then on the Carolina side, I'm going with Ted McMillan again, over 5.5 receptions at +120. Bro, he got 9 targets last week versus Jacksonville. Wide receiver 1 against Arizona last week, had 13 targets in Chris Olave, and he got hurt 3 times in the game. Ted McMillan over 5.5 receptions at +120. I got to take a stab at that for sure, just because if he's going to get 9 targets in a rain-delayed game, I'm thinking 10+ this week, no question, just off rip. And yeah, that'd be all I can think of. I mean, like Marvin Harrison's longest reception. That's an official for me. No big, like the Trey Benson's looks it's just a lean. And then obviously, like I said, whatever tight end you might want to target for the Carolina side, it looks like it might be a legit issue for the Carolina or for the Arizona Cardinals. And then obviously official for me is Ted McMillan over 5.5 at plus money. I got to take it. I think he catches 6, 7, 8 passes. And he performs well. Just even if they're getting blown out too, I think Tet might be one of those blowout-proof players where there's no reason why he won't get the targets. Anything else you like in this one?
No, I didn't have nothing for this one.
Whoop-de-doo.
Man.
All right. Last game we're going to get into, I'm not going to pull up the banner. It's the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. You got Kansas City as 1.5-point dogs at home with an over-under of 46.5. The Eagles slight favorites at a -116 on the money line. Not going to lie. Chiefs looked very unimpressive in week 1. Xavier Worthy obviously returning to practice was like the biggest relief, I guess, ever, right? He's back. He should be playing this week. Sustaining a shoulder injury on the second snap of the game last week. We saw Philly play against the Cowboys. The Cowboys obviously performed relatively well. They ran the ball decently. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But obviously Philly was able to walk out with a win. I'll let you go first as far as your thoughts or anything you like in this one, and then I'll follow up.
Okay. So wait, what'd you say about Worthy? You think he's not going to play? Because you've seen he was back at practice.
He's going to play.
Yeah,
he practiced today. He's playing.
Yep.
He's definitely playing.
You know how it goes, right? It's you got Mahomes as an underdog. We kind of know the rules, but are the Eagles above that rule? Is kind of what I'm thinking right now, man. Patrick Mahomes, when he's not favored by more than 3 points, is 27-1 ATS. But man, I don't know where I want to go as far as a side. Now,
that's not like you. That's not like you when it comes to Mahomes. That don't even sound like you. Who had kidnapped prop? What, you don't know what to do?
Worthy. They said Worthy's doubtful.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome.
someone also asked too before I forget, would I start Kyler and Connor or Fields and Brees? Fields and Brees against that rush defense of Buffalo. I will go there.
Yeah, I mean, I will go as far as to say you can't go wrong with either because both teams run
Yeah.
defense is ass. You can't go wrong with either. But I agree with what you just said. I think that Buffalo's defense is a little bit more questionable, and you just get a different level of explosiveness from Justin Fields. Man, he's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually when I see the Chiefs with a spread like this, even being a short dog, or if it's -3 or fewer, I just instantly say I'm going with the Chiefs. But I don't know, man. When I looked at the game with Philly and Dallas, I thought the Cowboys should have won that football game. I know Jalen Carter got ejected before it began, but I don't know. And see, the thing is too, Dak missed on a lot of deep shots, but he had a lot of drop passes too. Mahomes misses on deep shots are all him. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of overthrowing receivers we've been seeing. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think I want to take Mahomes for the get back. Um, I think I want to. I don't know. You're right. I've never been this indecisive when it came to the Chiefs. Um, and then prop wise, this is I didn't look at any props.
Jalen Hurts. Jalen
Go
Hurts
ahead.
anytime touchdown. You just that's one of the. I think that's the weekly set it and forget it bet.
What's the odds on that this week? Let me see.
-130. I don't know if you line shop, you probably obviously get a better number, but on FanDuel, I know it's -130.
Let's see.
Somebody saying the same thing about Dotson I said this last week. Like, how do you not bet 7.5 yards after he got it on one play last week? He got his full ladder on one play. I think if you're betting Jahan Dotson, you try to go to Bet365 and bet his longest reception ladder, and don't even worry about the 7.5 points or 7.5 yards. You just bet him up to 25 yards, one catch, plus what, 400 or 500. I think that's like that. I think that's how you would approach it if you're betting on him.
Hurts -105.
What book?
Fanatics.
Okay. But yeah, I'm no man. So are we gonna get the official? Are you betting on the Chiefs, bro? Are you recommending the Chiefs? Is it get back season or not?
I don't know, man. It could be get back season for AJ Brown, right? One target last week to start the season. I don't know. This one's tough for me. I'm conflicted.
Oh man, you lose one Super Bowl
Then
and you
the,
start.
then the Chiefs secondary got cooked last week. They gave up 12 pass plays of 10 or more yards, 4 pass plays of 20 or more yards, and 2 passing plays of 30 or more yards. Oh, man. The Chiefs ran man 61% of the time last week. AJ Brown against a man last season. 74 targets compared to 23 targets against zone. 50 receptions against man compared to 17 against zone. I don't know. I think if anybody, I might go with a AJ Brown bounce back. 64.5 receiving yards. Maybe his receiving yards and longest reception.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Kansas City's defense bounces back. Like the way that Keenan Allen and McConkey were doing them was just, oh my goodness. The route combinations that those two guys were able to cook up between each other, just playing the leverage game, was nasty, bro. They were just able to just get whatever they wanted underneath, and then obviously I spoke about it when it comes to Justin Herbert. I said if he makes himself a runner, he's a different NFL player. If he's able to run the ball and use his mobility as part of his offensive skill set, he's fucking unstoppable. Just because he can make all the throws. So, and in this one, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win, man. I just think that the Eagles are a better football team right now. I don't want to say that like the mojo is gone from Kansas City, but man, when you got when you got a divisional opponent that just like kind of, the Chargers kind of did whatever they wanted. I think that the Philly offense is just as loaded. I think their quarterback is mobile. I think that if you're going to try to speed up Jalen Hurts, and I don't think that they can do that. I don't think that Spags defense right now is that right now. I think that in the second half you see a different game plan, and that's what we're seeing from like a lot of these coordinators, right? Like Brian Flores was so cocky in the first half against Chicago, he blitzed twice?
Yep.
Because he knew that his base defense was good enough to just get him through the half. And then when he got to the second half, he had Caleb Williams in hell because Caleb Williams didn't know what the fuck he was even seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So Spags is going to have to weather the first half. That's why I like the Eagles' first half team total actually as my favorite play. I think the Eagles will score points in the first half. I think that's the I think the number. Let me get the number for you. There it is. 11.5. I think the Eagles score 13 plus points in the first half. Over 11.5 for the Philadelphia Eagles in the first half is my favorite play. I think their offense will be much more effective than it was last week. And I think Kansas City's going to just, they're going to be on the uphill climb. And I just don't think that they're like the Patriots, that where they're beneficiaries of having this division where they can just walk through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Goddard might be out. I'm just looking at my Juju over 33.
Yeah, I'm looking through the comments now.
Yeah, I can't get behind anything Juju Smith-Schuster in 2025. I'm sorry. I like the guy. I think he's a really good savvy bet, but he's not getting my coin, brother. Chargers good. She's good. Goddard might be out. Barkley receiving and receptions. Listen, I'm not mad at. I'm tentative betting it. The only look that I love is Philly's team total in the first half. I don't think Kansas City's defense is going to come out here and just look like a smoker juggernaut. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, anything else you like in this one? Because like I said, this will be the last game that we get into. Obviously, there's plenty of shows and content coming where you can catch all of the other plays. But I think we got through this slate relatively well, and I like the spots that we shared. Anything else in regards to the Eagles Chiefs?
Nope. That's it for me. I'm getting cursed out now. I told her I would be an hour, so now I'm in trouble.
Tell the people where to be tonight and tomorrow, and we'll get the fuck up out of here.
Yes, indeed, man. Catch us on Spaces tonight. My guy Zeta Goat will be hosting on Twitter Spaces, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central. You can follow either of us on Twitter, me or Sosa, at Fast Money Prop, at Sosa Picks, and then at Zeta Goat. Well, I think it's 3 Ys, because why is he a Knicks fan? But yeah, that's what the Spaces will be on Twitter that night, y'all. Talking about NFL, all of the games that we did not talk about today. We're gonna talk about the entire slate.
All right, and that'll be it. Appreciate you guys joining. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. The season's just getting warmed up. This is our first run at bets of the betting slate this season. But we look to continue the great start and to continue to win with you guys all year. So appreciate you all. Have a wonderful end of your week and see you guys tonight.
Peace.
Peace.